In terms of project management, we have put together a project charter to set a common understanding across the core project team members. This includes our project aim and business justification. We have refined our project scope after making assumptions, the major ones being, namely, the 100K euro budget is for project planning and pilot solution testing and not for actual implementation. There will be no change in tooling, no disruption to the current manufacturing activities, and no legacy documentation digitalization involved in 2021. We have specified the acceptance criteria defined by our project board in regards to critical success factors. For example, we know that our solution needs to offer real-time availability of data, so the critical success factor is to make sure that we have the desired data available ready for digitalization in the right time. And our thought process is focused on risk management. We have drawn a risk tolerance line for anything under high probability of occurrence and high impact on the project success. We have assessed that the digital transformation has an impact on process, human capital, organization, technology, and business users. And we looked into the benefits the project will bring, as well as side effects, such as the inevitable change cycle through which end users would go through in a time of transition from old way of working to another. Incentives to contribute to the project success can be a solution to that. We have put in place work and communication tools, identified bonus skills within the team in addition to specialist skills to facilitate an efficient collaboration. We have a dedicated space on Miro to collect input and generate ideas. Our project controls are done within a Kanban flowchart and task list, issues, Q&A. Based on the change impact assessment, we have identified key areas to drive the success of our project. So we have distributed specific roles and responsibilities within our core project team so that we have defined work packages against critical milestones. The major risk associated with deploying a solution by phases is delay. So to mitigate that, we built a robust planning, including iterative testing, to learn quickly what works, what doesn't. Our project delivery approach is an agile approach in which all activities are carried out iteratively. And for all activities, our number one priority is quality.
For the quality and compliance part, as you can see, there is a list of documents that needs to be digitalized as a priority because we have the site master file, the procedures, the lab analysis and in-process control results, the batch records and the logbooks, and the protocols and the reports. The most probable and the needed requirements are for European and America countries. Why? Because they are similar, so they have some requirements that we can say they are very similar. So we can start from the left, and we can say that the data integrity principles are the most important thing to be considered. And then we have to assure that the document modification has to be prevented after the approval of the document. The real-time document completion and signing is really important. And then we have to assure the audit trail availability and the audit information clearance. After that, we have to manage the unavailability of the digitalized system because we know that if we have a digitalized system and it doesn't work, we have a problem. Then we have to consider the personal training and the different tools access for different job positions. And we have to assure that after European and America implementation, we have to think about all the rest of the world. So we can consider the ICH Q9 guidelines and also the GAMP guidelines. For the quality requirements, we we know that the quality is the most important requirement for our products. So we need the document tracking and checking without losing any control point. We have to make some quality and compliance assumptions to consider our solution, because the software used to install the digitalizing system remotely has to be previously validated. Then we have the electronic signature tool previously validated that only needs to be adapted to the new system.
Our solution, it will be around hypotheses and assumptions. Let's start with a good foundation. We'll focus in 3 areas: people, technology, and process. In terms of people, we want to make sure our solution is no complicated workflows, is very intuitive interface, and we try to reduce the user frustration to the minimum, and also that leads to inefficiencies. In terms of technology, we want to think about the platform. We want to be a very recent and relevant platform. And we want to reduce the maintenance costs, because most of the times with high maintenance costs, many of our clients will decide to go with the competitors. And in terms of visibility, we want to make sure it's very visible and it's easy to create reports and different drafts. Let's go back to the process. We want to make sure they are not complex and they are consistent process. I want to make sure the system is scalable across different regions and different departments of the company. And in regards to the assumptions, it will lead us to the problem statement. The assumptions, we want to make sure the solution include different mismatches, so that will lead to limiting of number of issues. And also want to make sure it's in line with the business ideas and the business plans and priorities. So let's think how the market looks like. In terms of the market, we figured out 4 important market solutions. We thought about Veeva Quality Docs, OssiFox, Pass XMEX, and the last one, ID2. We want to think about which one is better in terms of features, quality, and benefits. So our final solution will be Veeva Quality Docs. The good thing about Veeva Quality is a cross-functional platform. It provides remotely usage in terms of diversity, users, controls, and levels. And it also supports long-term partnerships that is on the lines of our solution. And it's in line with different protocols and different health authorities. So in that way, provide clear data, simplistic, and easy to use. In terms of easy to use, we want to make sure the solution improves the searchability to find any information within the program and in a fast pace. So how the prototype workflow would look like? You have a creation, approval, and distribution. So within the creation, approval, and distribution, you have different documentations. It will include policies, it will include standards, SOPs, and different manuals. Also, you have things like SLC documents, validation, assessments, and training content. And last but not least, you have reports, forms, and contracts as well. So how the solution will look like? Veeva Quality looks like different features will be included. It will be like a single user interface that will help it will be beneficial for improve the searchability, to find information, and also will be in terms of visibility for the documentations. It will be a real-time collaborative, so if you work remotely, allow different users to access specific documentation. And in terms of interactive dashboard and reports, will be able to be focused in business alignment, and that will bring so many benefits, like in terms of the device usage and also the cloud-based solution that will make the business grow. What we can say from the prototype to the testing, we have a couple of lessons learned. In terms of user acceptance testing, we can say, for example, if you include the decision makers and the top managers and the users, you will have like an increase of the user acceptance. That means people will be more committed to use the platform and they will be happier with the results. Then you have also like upfront data collection. That means if you engage users with the business, they will have the feeling of ownership. So basically, if you have enough data before the migration and during migration, you will actually have a better ownership protocols happening. In terms of feedback, if you have constant feedback provided by the users in terms of bugs and different functionalities that are actually not efficient enough, it will help to continuously improve the platform. and that will lead to the best solution possible. And we're happy with that.
For the change and transformation part, it is not only about the implementation of new IT tools, it's also about the transformation of our people, our culture, and our organization to create a digital environment for our employees, since they are the main drivers of the change. We took a closer look on models for employees to easily go through change, such as ADCO or 7S. The one that suited best for our case is the influence model, which is based on role modeling, understanding and conviction, confidence and skill building, and reinforcement mechanisms. To drive change towards our solution, we have figured out some key steps. At first, readiness assessment. Then we want to come up with a change management and communication plan. Afterwards, we have to train our employees. We want to come up with a resistant management plan. Of course, we are still open for corrective actions, employee feedback, audit compliance. We want to recognize success, so we want to define some KPIs. And we want to do an after project review to do reinforcement and improvements for our solution. So how we measure successful changes in our project. Like I said before, we want to implement KPIs to measure improved quality and reduce costs. For example, the human error as a root cause in production. In Q1, we assessed that we have 30% of human error in our production site. And with our solution, we intend to decrease that down to 5% in Q4. One other way to improve quality is through the assessment of end user satisfaction. The way we're planning to collect feedback is through our intranet, where we want to create a co-creation place to exchange ideas and suggestions of our end users. Overall, improving quality across the business will induce the reduction of costs.
Economic viability of the project is based in these three aspects: the activity plan, as we have presented in the previous slide, the budget with the amount of 100,000 euros, and the outcome machine, the cash out to materialize the project. The main risk to avoid in the economic field is to avoid cash falls. Avoiding this matter and trying not to go short during the first quarter when the project is going to be deployed lead us to create the following cash flow forecast. As you can see, the main cash out is related to the fixed cost, especially for buying the devices to perform the scanning procedures. We have projected that we will need approximately 50 tablets. Point out that the software applications will be acquired under the CAAS license, software as a service. That means no upfront big payments will be needed. As we can control and reduce big cash outs in the beginning of the project, we have more predictable economic path of the cash outs on the project. Based on our economic viability analysis, our innovative solutions is completely viable and feasible and remains within the 100,000 euros budget.
Digitalization completed.